um, I text everyone. We drive back. We're back in Austin, and I text everyone over at Joe Rogan's new club, the Comedy Mothership. I was going over there to check that place out, which I already saw. Like most of you, I saw the videos on the internet. I was like, my God, this place looks amazing. And I went in there, and I'm not even like, I'm not going to even just mince words here. That's the greatest comedy club I've ever been in. And I've been in some great ones. Caroline's. These are the best ones I was in before Joe's. Caroline's, Hilarities in Cleveland. Comics, the one that when it was in the meatpacking district went out of business. Gotham. The Stand. Those were like so nice. You're like, how is this still a comedy club? Because you're used to them being like smaller, holes in the wall or whatever, And I went to the Rogan one, and I don't even know where to begin. All I can tell is when you go in that place, you can tell that every fucking thing on the wall, on the floor, on the ceiling, sight lines, everything in that place was painstakingly gone over to make sure that it was absolutely perfect. And that's what I kept telling Joe. He goes, how do you like the club? And I was like, dude, it is fucking perfect. It's fucking perfect. You have to, like, the colors of the booth, the Mitzi's place, I think that's what it's called, the bar downstairs, the main room, the smaller room. I did sets Saturday and Sunday there in the smaller room, and I love that place. And Harlan Williams, what do you say there, Freckles? He was there in the main room, so I got to see him headline that place. And just the green room, the food, the whole thing was amazing. And I knew that he would have this option. I was like, if a comedian is designing the club, he's going to have the option that you can either deal with the crowd or not deal with the crowd. Meaning, when your set is over, if you want to go out and talk to the crowd, AKA you had a good set. Or maybe you didn't. Maybe you pissed a few people off, and when you go behind the curtain, you just want to stay there, and you can get to the green room without having to deal with anybody. It is fucking amazing. But the coolest thing that combined two huge worlds of mine, stand-up comedy and Stevie Ray Vaughan. Stevie Ray Vaughan, I guess, played that place when it was called the Ritz back in the day. And that's another thing. It was like a punk club, and he had for wallpaper in the green room all like the actual posters of all of these punk bands, Circle Jerks, Misfits, all of these classic bands. I'm not a big punk band guy. I'm not cool. I was listening to disco, as you heard when I was making fun of I was making fun of the Canadians. But Stevie Ray Vaughan played there in like 1983, and Joe somehow got somebody to find photos of him playing there. And for big Stevie Ray Vaughan fans, it was that time in his career right before he started wearing a cowboy hat on stage, and he had that sort of that not Kango style, I don't know what you call it, like the Brian Johnson style hat that he had when, right from when he was Stevie Ray Vaughan in Triple Threat, and he had a woman in the band before he got with Chris Layton, Tommy Shannon, Double Trouble, before they added Reese. Yeah, kind of into those guys. Anyway, he had these two amazing, like, life-size photos of Stevie Ray Vaughan. And Stevie Ray Vaughan is like one of those artists that I find transcends what he does. Like, he's so good at what he does, even though you don't, like, I tell jokes, I don't play guitar. He's so fucking good at it. It's like I want to get better at what I like. How do I become the Stevie Ray Vaughan of what I'm doing? Which obviously is impossible. I mean, that guy's a once in a century talent. But it does make you dig deeper and try to get better. So to see those pictures, and also just to know that you're in a place that guy played in. Like, I really feel that when you perform in a place like that, like whatever they did, the magic of it is somewhere there, if you're into that spiritual shit, which I actually am. So I went down there that night. Joe wasn't there, so I had to see him. So I made sure the next night I went down there again to hang out with him. But Adam Ray was down there too, one of my favorites, and I met a couple of comedians there. This guy William that was hosting, I never got his last name. He was funny as hell. And then I brought this kid up that I thought was great, named Miles Johnson. Was really funny. Just really, and the club also had open mic night, which is something that went away during my stand-up career. It was how an open mic night was crucial for new comedians, and it was crucial for the comedy clubs to keep, it was like the draft. You had to keep developing new comedians to keep the scene alive. And I always felt that one of the big mistakes that so many comedy clubs did was they stopped having open mic nights, and then it just became like the Dust Bowl, where you just keep farming on the same land until it's just, nothing grows there anymore, So that was another great thing. And it's right on 6th Street, and it's just, 6th Street's a little loud for me in my old ears, but like it is, you feel like that excitement of youth and that type of thing coming down the street. So that's another great energy to have in the club. I can't say, like, Joe absolutely fucking picked the perfect venue and crushed it. It's unbelievable. So anyway, so that all happens. That's Saturday. Killer show Friday at College Station. Which, by the way, Chris Layton, drummer for Stevie Ray Vaughan, came out to with one of his buddies. I'm dropping names all over the place. I don't give a fuck. All right, I'm still giddy. So that was Saturday. One of the greatest days on the road I've ever had. And then Sunday, we still get to go to the race. And we showed up, and all the races were great. I would say the best race of the day was the Moto 3 race, which I was so psyched because I haven't seen one of those races since they stopped having them on TV. They do have them on their website, but like I get so fucking busy that I only watch the Moto GP. So for those who don't watch the sport, there's Moto 3, Moto 2, and then the top level. And Moto 3 is like 17, 18-year-old future fucking, stars of Moto GP on their way up. And they all get the same engine. They almost look like those cafe racers. And it was this absolutely fucking insane race where this number 5, and I forget the other guy, they kept swapping the lead, and then the lead guy crashed. And he just sort of low-sided it on the like turn 14 or 16 or something like that, somewhere over there. And the dude right behind him, number 5, had to slow down. And in slowing down, he went from second and being on the podium to being like 5th or 6th. And there was only 2 laps to go. And dude, this guy, I don't know who this kid is, but he raced angry, man. He fucking just went all out, passed 2 guys in one fucking turn, I believe, and worked his way all the way back up to second place again. Crowd was going crazy. And then the next one was Moto 2. And I'm a Joe Roberts fan. I got to root for the Americans here. And he's got the red, white, and blue bike. And he was in, I think he was in 16th. And he got all the way up to 9th at one point. And I think there was something going on with the bike because he was riding great. But I got to watch him. He ran great. And that was another amazing race. And then the last one, the MotoGP one, was crazy because it was really windy. Like on Saturday it was hot, but on Saturday it was really windy. And like on the first lap, like 3 guys like just fucking wiped out. I don't know what was going on. Like they said something about the tire pressure in the front tire, and the wind was just taking these guys out. And like I think like 9 riders went down, not getting bumped or anything, just going into a turn. And the bike just went out from underneath him, I think with the wind or something like that. I have no idea. But on like the first lap, like guy Fabio Giannantonio, whatever his name is, riding that light blue Ducati, he low-sided and then slid into his own teammate, Alex Marquez. Just took him right out. I mean, they couldn't have been more than 4 turns into the fucking race. And $2 million of motorcycles and an entire team were out. I forget who else wiped out. I don't know if it was Jack Miller or something like that. There was so many big names that went down. Of course, is it Pecco or Pekka? Francesco Bagnai. I don't know how to say his name. He was in first place. The second race in a row, he low-sided and didn't get any goddamn point. He did get to 25, I think, in the sprint race. But I'm totally back into this sport. I had a great time. Alex Rins ended up winning it. And they asked me the night before, they go, hey, do you want to present the trophy? Club Soda called me up. Hey, they want to know if you want to present the trophy. And I'm like, for what? They're like, the guy who wins the MotoGP. I'm like, they want me to do that? Doesn't that like a hot chick does that? They're like, they're asking you. And I always say no to that shit. I'm always like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I can barely ride a motorcycle. That's stupid. I shouldn't do that. That's outside my wheelhouse. But I was just like, I give a fuck. I'll do that. I don't give a fuck, right? So I show up. The end of the race, they bring me down there. I'm standing behind the fucking podium, and I'm watching, like, these guys as they come in, first, second, and third place guy, and their team's going nuts, and they're all screaming and how psyched they are. I've always seen that on TV, but to see it live, the energy is crazy. On the other side, where I was sitting, I saw them bringing in all the bikes that wiped out on this sad little golf cart that brought it in on a trailer. So fucking funny, man, to see a bike that can go 220 fucking miles an hour getting brought in on a little golf cart, towed in. Here's a good one. Should I kick my neighbor's ass?
Yes.
Yes. Generally speaking,
we're going to go with yes.
Hey, Bill, love the podcast.
Is that what time it is?
No,
Damn.
that's East Coast.
Oh, okay.
That's why people bitch. Where the fuck is the podcast? I need some advice on what to do about this guy who lives in a few houses down from me. I'm a third-year college student, and I live at home. My parents moved to go live in the state above mine. You mean north? And I currently reside alone while they are trying to sell the house. A few months ago, I was driving home coming back from a gym, and while I was driving in my neighborhood, I saw this guy step in the middle of the road about 20 yards from my car. He was yelling something at me, but I couldn't hear what he was saying. I slowed down and stopped my car right in front of him, and he came to my window and told me to get out. I was totally confused and thought I ran over his cat or something. Also, I think he just moved in because I never seen the dude in my life. So I rolled down the window and asked, "What did you say?" He goes, "I'm going to kick your fucking ass. Get out of the car." This guy's probably in his 40s and has to be around 5'10". Is this me? 250 pounds. That's not me. No. I'm 21, 6'3", 200. I do CrossFit and I wrestle occasionally at another gym I go to. So I get out of the car and I'm standing there trying to figure out what the hell is going on. The guy starts moving towards me, so I take the initiative and take a step towards him. We end up being an inch from each other, and he's trying to do some alpha male shit by just staring at me. But I have the height advantage, so I'm looking down at him. At least 10 seconds go by before the guy goes, "How fast do you think you were going back there?" I say, "I don't know, probably around 30. The speed limit in my neighborhood is 20, and I know I wasn't going that much over it." Then he goes, "I'm not going to have my children playing in the yard if I know assholes like you are driving like that in the neighborhood." After he said that, I saw his wife and son were a little off to the side of the road. Once the word asshole left his mouth, I was fucking pissed. I wanted to just tackle the dick and put him to sleep in front of his wife and kid to teach him a lesson. But I pussied out and just apologized to him and said that I was really sorry and it wouldn't happen again. The guy then gives me a fucking little smirk and then turns around and says, while walking away with his back turned, "It better not, or you know what will happen."
Oh, yeah.
I gotta fucking walk
Yeah.
away.
You definitely should have kicked his ass.
Fucking cunt.
You should have kicked his ass. Yeah.
What a fuck. Do you realize
Yeah.
do you realize what this kid did? He's such a fucking gentleman. He could have kicked the fucking shit out of this
Yeah.
guy. He saw his wife and kid there. It would have been emasculating.
Yep.
His dad is Superman. He sits there. You know what it is? It's that little smirk.
Yeah.
That fucking smirk. I bet that cunt steals from work.
Yeah.
I bet he does. Sorry, dude. That's the first time. I literally had to walk away. You fucking cunt.
Yeah, you should have kicked that guy's ass. But it's a good. I
know,
suppose it's good that you didn't do it, but because you were
this
the
is-
bigger person, as they say. But he definitely has it coming.
Then he writes, now after that shit, I wanted to explode. I mean, the guy totally disrespected me, so I get in my car and drive off. End of story? Wrong. I couldn't get this fucking guy out of my head. Dude, I can't get it out of my head. I'm going to actually fantasize that I was there and he did that, what I would want to do. You know what I would fucking do? I would wait till he was alone. Don't do this shit. Don't do this. But I know you just want to get the guy alone and be like, hey, what are you going to do now? Huh? What are you going to do now? Just get right in his fucking grill and have him back down.
Yeah.
Or I would almost just say to the guy, say, hey, listen, man, just call him over to the car and just say, listen, I just wanted you to know the other day that if I wanted to, I could have fucking stuffed you in my trunk, tied you up like a fucking pretzel, and ass raped you in front of your fucking wife. But I chose not to, okay? Because I didn't want your son to know what a little fucking, I can't say it, pussy he has for it. That wouldn't have been homophobic either. I wouldn't even be talking about gay people. That's such a fucking pussy move. Yeah. And if for some reason, but I'm no, then that's what you say. Maybe you do it like Columbo. Just say, listen, man, I got to ask you something. Because I'm 6'3", I CrossFit, I wrestle, okay? And just looking at you, I know I could tie you into a pretzel. I know I could do it if I wanted to. But the confidence you had, I just want to know, what is your background? You know? Because, I'm a real competitive guy. If you got some sort of martial arts training, I would love to have you. Why don't you come down to the gym sometime when your wife and kid aren't there so I don't have to feel guilty when I fuck you up and close both your eyes with this one and his friend over here.
What does the rest of the thing say?
I don't even need to read it.
It's not, but it's not over, though.
I know, because what's happening now, this is what happens when you do the right thing in life, okay? When, it eats away at you. You have to make peace. You have to make peace, and you got to tell yourself the lie that someday this guy's going to get his. And you know what? He doesn't. Guys like this don't get theirs. Oh, that smirk. This kid really painted a fucking picture. This is driving me nuts. He goes, I couldn't get this guy out of my head. A week went by, and I was still thinking about that asshole. Dude, I would think about this guy 20 years from now. 2 weeks later, I was driving home from school, and I see the guy rolling his garbage can out to the curb. I slow down to fucking under 20, and I know this because I look down at my speedometer. I pretend to stare the guy down, so I look at him, and he looks at me and yells, slow down! Wow. Now, when he said that, I am fucking raging. I wanted to stop my car and do some ground and pound on his face. Yeah, this kid knows what he's doing. This isn't wrestling. Like, this kid's doing UFC shit. But did I? No. I just drove off like a fag. The next day I talked to my friend about it, about what had happened, and he said that this guy said the same shit to him. If he said it, he would have put him on his ass. I know. Dude, you know what I would have done? He told me that if he says he's going to kick your ass, then that's a threat so you can defend yourself. Don't listen to your dumb friend. He's saying you won't get arrested. So a few months have passed, and I'm still thinking about this asshole every time I drive by his house. Fast forward to yesterday, and I'm biking in my neighborhood, listen to an IHOP, and I hear a honk from behind me. So I pull my bike over to the side of the road, and it's none other than the same dude in his Ford F-150 driving along, and he looks at me and gives me the middle fucking finger.
Wow.
Now, granted, I was in the middle of the road and didn't hear the guy coming because I was listening to music, but still the middle finger. So I bike home, take a shower, and try to convince myself to walk over to the dude's house and confront him. But after a couple minutes of pacing, I just decide to wait it out until the asshole does one more thing. I mean, I don't want to get arrested. So my question is, what the hell should I do? I mean, every time I drive by this guy's house now, I want to fucking veer off the road and ram my car into the middle of his living room. Any advice would be good. All of my friends think I should go over there, but I want a second opinion. You can't do anything to this guy.
Unless he puts his hands on you
Unless he
first.
puts his hands on you. This is
can't
just
do
one of these
anything.
things. But you can do to him what he's doing to you. This guy has an insane temper. So, you know, I'm not advocating legally so you don't do this, but like, I don't know what I would next time, if you see him out in the yard or something, this is what you do. I have a great idea. Do you have any friends who are really good mechanically? Why don't you take your credit card out, go down to the fucking auto store or whatever, or go online and buy like one of those fucking train horns and have it installed in your car. And next time you drive down the street, just be sort of zigzagging down the street just to get this guy to be fucking, getting all like, oh, what the fuck? And the second he starts screaming, you lay on that fucking horn as loud as humanly possible and you blow out his eardrums. That's what I would. But then again, knowing a douche like this, he would say that I have permanent hearing damage.
You know what I think you should do? Maybe because I'm a female and I'm all about
revenge. Okay.
Psychological warfare.
What should he do?
I think when the husband is not home, I don't know if he knows his schedule or whatever, he needs to go over there when the wife is at home and be like, listen, I'm so sorry about that time that I was speeding. I really, but your husband seems really upset. I'm really not trying to be like that. I would never do anything like that. And women are like, oh, no, because she knows her husband is a psycho. Right. And she could turn around and be like, yeah, you shouldn't do that either. But I have a feeling she's not like that. And he can just go over and just make nice and be like the sweet kid that's helping out. And, oh, do you need me to take the barrels out?
He needs vengeance, Mia.
But then I feel like maybe that would fuck with the husband. And he's like sitting there sipping tea with the wife. And, oh, look who came over. He just wanted to apologize in person. And, I don't know.
You know what's a great thing to do?
And then fuck the wife.
There you go. No. He should fuck his wife. He should
should play with his kid in the backyard, like toss the football around with him. Be more the big brother he never had.
You can't do. There's nothing like just start giving him the finger. Listen, this is the deal. All you got to do is just give him the finger. Give him the finger right back, because this guy thinks you're a bitch right now. So all you got to do is, you can just yell back. Just say, just give him the finger. Yell back at him. When he's in the driveway, I would like swerve at him and then swerve back. Just fuck with the guy. Just do that once, because the next time you might have like a video camera. But I just don't want to get any. I don't get any. You know what? If I was in that situation, dude, you know what I would do?
Yeah. Monday morning quarterback.
Look, when I was in that situation with that other guy, right?
Yeah.
At the last place we lived, and I didn't fuck with him because he was an old guy. I just didn't fuck with him. And now we found out he has dementia and all this shit. So I'm psyched. I never yelled at the guy. You know what you do now? You know what really diffuses angry guys like that, or makes them even more angry, is just laugh at him. Just keep laughing at him. Laugh at him, give him the finger, and just keep calling him tough guy. All right there, tough guy. Anything, you just keep calling him anything that is remotely, all right there, Chuck Norris, anything you want to say to this guy that will bait him into hitting you. This is this is a great question, and I don't want to get in trouble if some shit goes down. So you shouldn't do anything, sir, wink, wink, wink. This guy's such a dick. I always say, fucking with somebody's car is like a pussy move, but this guy's such a dick. And he has like such a, oh my God. Dude, how many times have you thought about just choke slamming that guy right into the hood of your car repeatedly?
When you said, I can stuff you into my trunk, bend you like a pretzel, and ass rape you in front of your wife.
No, but if you just said it really calmly, if you said it calmly with sort of a smile on your face, you come off like a fucking maniac.
Yeah, that's true.
If you scream that at somebody, you just sound like you're quoting like, Hulk Hogan or something, right?
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, brother. Come this Saturday. I'm going to bend you into a pretzel and ass rape you.
So anyway, speaking of which, the strike continues in my business. And, I don't know. This is a very crazy time. I think everybody who works for a living, in other words, works for other people, you got to support unions, because I feel like we are just going backwards, where we're going to go back to like, hey man, if you want a job, you got to it's got to be like slave labor. It really is like the level of greed. I'm not even just talking about entertainment. I just straight across the board of these corporate, all of this out there, right? Going after this person said this person tweeted that, and da-da-da. All these little brush fires. that they're acting, that they're like, it's like Armageddon. And meanwhile, all of these corporations, for the most part, are run by a small group of people at the top who are just lining their pockets. Incredible amount of wealth, which, hey, they're running the corporation. They should be wealthy. But, they're literally eliminating the middle class, which I feel is that was the thing that made this country great, is that you didn't have to own a company and oppress 800 people underneath you so you could get a big house or whatever. You could work for somebody, and they had to pay you a living wage. And with that living wage, you could buy a house, you could pay it off, and you could have a wife and kids. Like, I remember when I was a kid, like the milkman. Guy drove up in a truck, dropped off milk, picked up the empty bottles, and could afford to have, where inflation was and everything, how strong the dollar was, could afford to have a wife and a family, and the wife had the option of working or not. And I don't know. I think that they eliminated that. They went around the unions. I mean, let's be honest. The unions did get greedy themselves and had the owners of the fucking factories or whatever under their thumb, and maybe they pushed too far. And at some point, the factory was just like, well, fuck you. We're going to take it somewhere else. And I don't know, this global thing that the only way to turn a profit is if, there's people. It's like everybody's loving these electric cars, all these environmentalists, and it's just like, if you look how they get it, there's like pregnant women in these mines handling whatever the natural resource is without any barrier between them. It's just, why does it always have to be that way? It doesn't. And then they go, well, if we didn't, it'd be fucking $40 a gallon. And it's like, why is that? Why is that? It's because you're not willing to take less of a fucking salary. You're not willing to make less profit. So if you actually have to pay people a wage where they're safe and they can live somewhere halfway decent, you're just going to pass that expense on to the consumer. You're never going to take it out of your pocket. And like, just the level of that fucking greed, and the fact that is never, it's never addressed. I said that last time, like when someone was going like, this guy's writing on a hit show and he's living below the poverty line on the hit show, writing for a hit show. And somebody goes, well, maybe the actor should pay him some money. It's like, that's such a fucking stupid thing to say. That's like I said before, it's like you're working at Home Depot and the guy driving the forklift isn't making enough money. Oh, the guy managing the store. What about the owner of the fucking store? Sorry, kids are downstairs. And I also just like, what fascinates me is the lack of empathy that not just some random person, a person who's in the same boat has towards people like, well, get another job. It's like, you get another fucking job. What do you do for a living? And then what? I'm supposed to not support you if you have a problem? I don't get it. But the level of fucking greed that is going on out there, but I just don't think that it's going to take regular people joining together, because politicians are not, nor have they ever held corporations accountable. If they do, they're just trashed in the media as socialists and communists and all that, and they destroy them before they even get a chance to get a campaign going. Or people pick that person, and then the Democratic Party goes like, yeah, no, we're not doing that. We're going to get you a fucking career politician that's going to get into the Senate, and there's no fucking rules against insider trading, and they're going to turn their $200,000 a year into $20 million, and it's totally fucking legal. And then they're going to go, I don't know what, go buy a fucking aquifer. All right, I'm off my fucking podium here. Anyway, was very fun to be back east here. Especially on this island, man. It's amazing. Like, it's just a great mix of people as far as like, people from around the world, and like New York people, Boston people, different sports affiliations. Oh, my favorite thing, I met somebody at a coffee shop from New York And he goes, I know you don't want to hear this, but I'm a Giants fan. Talking about the football team. That's like a thing. Like Giants fans apologizing to Patriots fans. And I'm like, why do they do that? It's like, we lost 2 to you, but then we won 3, lost 2 to you, and then won 3 more. And somewhere in there, lost to the Eagles. You know, like, what are you, like, it's that New York fucking thing where they have to figure out a fucking way. Next time a Giants fan goes, hey, man, sorry, I'm a Giants fan. Like, what am I supposed to... Oh, hey, sorry, I'm a Red Sox fan. Sorry about 04. Sorry, I'm a Giants fan. Well, that's all right. You made it up with the Knicks, the Nets, the Mets, the Jets, the Rangers, the Devils. Whatever your fucking soccer team is. The Yankees choking away a foot. I would never do that. I don't give a fuck. It's just... I think it's because they can't chant 1918 at us anymore. So now they got to be, oh, sorry. I mean, I know this is going to bug you. Remember that game you lost last decade, the decade before? Yeah. I think I was like 38. I'm 55 now. I'm over it. I think that's what I'll say next time. Oh, sorry, I'm a Giants fan. Well, but all your other teams suck. And not to mention, we also have... You're going to make me do this, dude? We have more Super Bowls than the Jets, Giants, and Bills put together. You have 3 professional football teams, and you still have less rings than we do. So, apology accepted. Fucking jerk off. Ugh. It's every reason why I don't go into those fucking chat rooms. Anyway, oh, look at me. Running my yap here. 32 minutes in. Let's do the the reads here, huh? Yeah, so anyway, one time there was this transvestite, and Patrice was holding court in front of the cellar, and I believe he was kicked out of the cellar at that point, but they couldn't stop him from hanging out there because upstairs was a restaurant. It was like this technicality. And I think they also knew that if Patrice hung out at the Boston Comedy Club, we all would have just done our sets and gone over to the Boston because you had to be around him. So he's sitting there, and he's trashing everybody. And all of a sudden this transvestite came down the street, and I don't know what the fuck he said to her, but she just stopped in her tracks, and she was all about it. And she got right in his grill. He was sitting down, of course, as always. And she was standing up, he, she, whatever the fuck you say, and they just started going at it. And I remember one of the first ones she hit him with, and she wasn't scared at all. She hit him with, like, what he told us was an old street joke, but she said that he had so many spaces between his teeth it looked like his tongue was in jail. And we all were like, we all died laughing, right? And Patrice goes, that's a stock line. And he sized her up in 2 seconds, was like, all right, so this girl, she knows a bunch of fucking street jokes. So what he did was he threw like a light one, an easy one, and then he just like Ali laid back on the ropes, let her get like her next 3 fucking... I bought a Snaps book, and then he just started in on her and fucking just totally turned, because I was like, oh my god, Patrice is gonna lose to a fucking transvestite. This is great. And then all of a sudden he turned it around, and I'm telling you, they just went blow for blow, and like I'm telling you, some of the funniest comics in New York at that country at that point were some of the funniest ones in the country, I feel. And we became audience members, and we shut up. A comedian, we all shut up and sat there and just watched them volley back and forth. And Patrice finally, started turning the tide. So she started walking away, was still running her mouth. She never quit, but she left. And I remember Jeff Ross looked at me and just shook his head after it and said, that's the most unbelievable fucking thing I've ever seen. And I was just like, it was one of those things, you saw it, and as a performer, you wish you did it. Yeah. The same way you saw Eddie Van Halen, you'd listen to him play guitar, and you'd be driving in your car, fantasizing that you were doing it. Like,
or no. The equivalent to especially any comic listening to this right now, is you in Philly.
Oh, that's
one of those moments where I saw it and I went, oh, I wish that had been me. I would have never been able to do that.
And that's how performers look at that shit. And that's one of the highest compliments. So I really appreciate that.
I'm telling you, I literally.
Well, if you watch that
if you want, just go perform in Philly.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, just go out. Yeah, show any sort of weakness in the anywhere in Philly. But when you watch me when I yell at the DJ, like I'm trying to fucking work something out here.
Yeah.
He was actually relaying something Patrice said because all the comics came to the side of the stage and were watching it by the end.
Yeah.
And he yelled out "Invincible." That's what he yelled out.
Oh.
Which would have been perfect because I would have been like, you fucking Eagles suck so bad. Some guy from a bar gets a tryout on your team. Not only gets a tryout, he makes your fucking team and has an impact, right? Like, I could have gone on forever, but I didn't. Like, I was so in attacking anything that talked to me.
Yeah.
And I always felt bad because the DJ, and because he kind of pointed over at Patrice, which was funny because me and Patrice weren't really talking at that time because we had that big fucking battle on O&A because of that fucking idiot radio show.
Yeah.
And that Philly thing was the first time we were backstage. We actually started like fucking talking again like friends. Cause
I heard that live that you and Patrice, you were on the phone, right?
Yeah. And that's the worst thing about the internet. It was like a 3-month fight in our relationship, but it lives on forever.
Yeah.
And people still ask me about that. And it was just, we were doing this guy's show, and the guy the second I walked into the studio, he was just giving me shit. And I was thinking like I remember I came walking in the studio and and they'd already given me a water. And so like one of the guys working on the show goes, "Bill, anything else you need or anything?" I was like, "No, I got a water. I'm good. All I need is some headphones." And then he turns around and goes, "We'll get you some cans. We'll get you some cans."
Who was this guy? Don't say it because maybe I might be friends with him.
I don't want to. All you got to do is listen to the thing. You'll hear who the fuck it is. I don't name names, right? So then I was just like, whoa. And he just kind of kept coming at me like that. So I thought it was like, okay, this guy thinks maybe I'm coming in from New York, so I think I'm better than him.
Yeah.
So I thought like this was some little hazing thing, like, okay, this guy's going to break my balls for a couple of breaks, and once I show that I have a sense of humor about myself, he's going to warm up. He never did. And in the middle of it, Patrice called in, and he accidentally cursed, and I'm giving him shit for cursing or whatever, but I'm doing it more in like that cellar hanging out in front of the cell, you big stupid this isn't satellite radio, blah, blah, blah. But then, man, I know.
Yeah,
I already said it.
As soon as you said it, I went.
Yeah, he fucking hung up on him, and I didn't realize he hung up on him. But even then, I was just looking like, who gives a fuck? I didn't think it was that big a deal. And the episode ended like 2-3 hours later. The episode ends, and at the end of the episode is right when my HBO special came out, and the guy was like on the air trashing, like making fun of my special. Like, so what do you got going on? And I was like, I got a half hour coming out on HBO. And I just came out on HBO, and he goes, "Really? I haven't heard anything about it." Something like that. And I was like, "Well, it's doing real well." And he goes, "Whatever." And it was one of those things. The second the show ends, he goes, "Hey, did you have a good time?" And it's just like, "Yeah, man, I had a great time. All right, see you next time." Fucking whatever. What was that?
Yeah.
And it was after. It was after the episode. That's when me and Patrice first got into a fight, because I got off and all it was a message going, "Yeah, that guy's a dick, man. Give me a call." So I called him up, and I didn't realize that he was really upset by it. So I came at him in seller mode.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Just kind of do this and blah, blah, blah. And then I go, "You hung up on you, jackass," or something. And he was like, a lot of people don't know he was really a sensitive guy. So that's what started off. So then he goes on Opie and Anthony, and then that started the whole, "You don't tell me I taught you to do this." And then my ego goes, "What you fucking taught me to trash people?"
Yeah.
Fucking met you when I was 25. I live in a quarter of a cent. And then it just was, and it was literally like, two fucking pit bulls in a ring.
Oh my God. Ooh, 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 ooh.
I had a incident on the airplane going to Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah.
Where this guy, like, I don't know, this guy just started like interrogating me. He thought I was some sort of flight risk.
About what?
I don't know. He was on something. I don't know what happened. Like, I was sitting down.
So he's just a passenger.
Yeah, and I didn't know if he was a sky marshal, but he ordered a Dewar's in the beginning, and he just slammed it. So I'm like, this guy's not a sky marshal. This guy's boozing it up. So he just goes to me. He's like, we're just sitting there. And he just says, he goes, hey, are you afraid to fly?
Oh, God.
And I'm like, what? He goes, are you afraid to fly? I go, no, I'm not afraid to fly. And he goes, you sure? Because, it's okay. You can tell me if you are. And immediately I'm looking at this guy. What do you mean it's like, okay? What is this like interrogation 101, build a relationship with your subject thing that you're doing here? And I was just like, no. He goes, he goes, all right, because, he's just kind of fidgeting and looking around. I was like, no, man. I go, I'm cool. He's like, oh, so you like to fly? I'm like, when I'm up here, because, I bump myself up. I go, when I'm back there, I don't like it. And then he's all right, But, you can tell me if you're afraid to fly. So now I'm just like, dude, I'm not afraid to fly. So, and he's staring at me, and I put my hand like this to show that it wasn't shaking. I go, I'm not nervous. All right? Thanks for asking. And then he goes, well, anybody can do that. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I just said, look, dude, I'm drinking water. You're drinking Doers. Okay? And he goes, that wasn't Doers, right? And I'm just like, all right, this guy. So I'm sitting there.
You saw him order it.
Huh?
You saw him order a Doers.
Oh, yeah, I was sitting there. He said, let me get a Doers. And she brought it over neat, and he threw it back like he was drinking baby milk. Right? I was impressed. This guy's old school. Starting off good, right? So then there's like 5 minutes of silence. More passengers are getting on. And then the guy goes, hey, I'm sorry, man. I just got off on the wrong foot there. Right? He goes, my name's so-and-so. What's your name? He asked me, like, what my name is. And I was thinking of saying something like Steve, or some silly.
Lenny Clark.
I wish I said some silly name, but
Right.
I didn't think of one. I just went, it's Bill. And he goes, oh, cool. He goes, why are you going to Indianapolis, Bill? He started doing this shit. And I just look at the guy, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have to answer your questions.
Whoa.
I don't. He has no fucking authority. You're not a sky marshal. You're drinking booze. You're an asshole. What are you on? Are you afraid to fly? Go
Right.
fuck yourself. Leave me alone, right? So then he goes like, all right, now I am concerned. Okay? I am concerned. Okay? Why are you going to Indianapolis, Bill? Right? He says this, right? And they close the doors, and they're doing all this stuff. And I just start like, I joked on my podcast, I just started smirking like Ryan Gosling. He does that little Mona Lisa smile. You just kind of smile, and I'm just sitting there shaking my head at the guy, right? And I'm literally taking out my eye pillow. I wear like a mask just to say I'm so not worried about anything that you're going to fucking do. All this passive-aggressive shit just to piss this guy off. And he's going, why are you going to Indianapolis, Bill? And I just kept, I didn't say anything to him. I just kept laughing, just kept shaking my head. And was taxiing down. And he goes, dude, he goes, I fucking do this for a fucking living. He starts F, and all this stuff. The lady in front turns around, starts looking, and we're taxiing down the thing. He goes, you don't answer my questions right now. I'm going to hit that call button. I will hit that call button. I will stop this plane, and you will be fucking arrested, like saying all this stuff. And I'm just looking at him, smiling, shaking my head, like, go ahead and push it, dude. Let's see where the fuck this goes. This is going to be hilarious. What happens? Does the pilot come out?
Right.
Does a police car pull up to the plane? No
Right.
fucking clue. So he goes to push it, and he can't find it. It was kind of a weird place, and he finally finds it, and he hit the button. I'm like, holy fuck, he hit the button. This is hilarious. And I'm just sitting there. He goes, now you wait. You fucking wait, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there smiling, shaking my head at him like, dude, I don't care. I don't care. You're not, you have no fucking authority. You're not going to hit me. You're not going to do anything. You're on fucking something.
Right.
But I'm not getting that. Dude, if that guy had a vibe like he was going to punch me, I would have been up in the aisles. But he didn't. He just had like that. It was like a kid throwing a temper tantrum. He wanted like this. He almost seemed like he wanted to be an Army Ranger, but he didn't quite make it. Or
What do you
Right.
look like? What do you look like?
He was like a wiry dude. He was in good shape, wiry dude, white dude.
Like that dude who that Trayvon Martin kid who wasn't really a cop.
Yeah.
But he wanted to be a cop, so he took it to the next level when
And
he
here's
was
the
a
thing.
security guard.
I could have squashed the whole thing and just been like, look, I'm a comedian. I'm
Right.
going to Indianapolis. If you'd like to come out to the show, I could have done that, but I'm a dick. And I hate authority. And this guy doesn't have any, so fuck him. So I just laugh. Now he pushes the button. So then the stewardess comes over, and she goes, yeah, what's the problem? He goes, this guy is a flight risk. I am not comfortable flying with him, but blah, 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 and all this shit. I was surprised how few people were looking around. People were just kind of sitting there, and this guy was just kind of sitting there, and this guy was wigging out. And I'm just sitting there, and then the stewardess was like, all right, did anybody else see any behavior? And the lady was sitting in front of him, pointed at him and said, yeah, he was berating, and she pointed at me. He was berating him. And I'm just like, perfect. So I'm literally putting my fucking eye mask down as I'm talking to him, just going, hey, I'm just a guy trying to go to Indianapolis. This guy's drinking Doers, and he's dropping the F. And then I'm thinking, fuck, I said bomb, like it was going to be a problem. But that wasn't a problem. And this guy's just doing this thing where he wants to win. He wants some sort of recognition of whatever the fuck he thinks he is.
The plane's still moving.
No, at this point, it fucking stopped. It pulled over. I forgot that part. It pulled over and stopped. Dude, it's a fucking red eye, okay? It stops. Another steward comes over and he goes, what's the problem? And he goes through the whole fucking thing. And it's like basically the captain at this point is going, do I really have to come back there? It's like, really? The red eye fucking flight? My last flight of the day. I used to fly combat missions. You know how fucking boring this is to fly this fucking bus? I don't want to deal with this bullshit. Do I really have to come back there? And then they finally asked him, they said, hey, are you going to be comfortable flying with this guy? And he, I think they acknowledged that he had some sort of something there. So he goes, you know what? No, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Just whatever, right?
That he had some sort of something.
Like some sort of power that, like, they checked with him. Like, you going to stand down, sir? Like, whatever fucking spy he thought he was. So now we get back in line, and we're taxiing, and as we're going down the runway, I got my eye thing on, and I'm just sitting there, and he's yapping in my ear. He goes, you think this is fucking over? You think this is fucking over? And at this point, I'm laughing. I'm holding my stomach, and I'm fucking laughing, and it's driving him nuts, and I'm having a fucking ball with this guy. And he goes, you know, my dad's the CEO of some fucking company in Indianapolis, and he starts saying that he's going to have me fucking arrested when I land. And he started describing the view I was going to see from the jail, like some Law and Order episode. Oh, you're going to.
Did you get a picture of this guy?
Did you take a photo?
No.
Oh, how could you not?
You should have been filming video this whole entire time.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
You could.
Why can't you just be in the moment and not turn into a film crew? And just,
Because then the story's even
fun.
better.
The universe gave me this fucking moment.
Right.
I'm telling the story. I don't. You know. So he fucking. So then I got my things down, and then he's going, yeah, you're going to love the view from the jail. You're going to see Lucas Oil Field and blah, 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 and all this shit. And then he finally...
Lucas Oil Field?
Yeah, that's where the Colts play. Telling me, like, this view... Dude, it was such hacky interrogation. Then he finally said, he goes, you know what, I'm glad. You know what, I fucking hope you do something. I fucking hope you do something. We're up there, and I'm fucking bursting.
What?
It was not,
I hope you do something.
And I'm sitting there with a blindfold on laughing at him. It was driving him fucking nuts. It was great. So then... 5 minutes of silence, 10 minutes of silence goes by, and I'm finally thinking that maybe this shit's over, or is he just sitting there staring at the side of my head? And then all of a sudden, I just hear, right as I'm starting to nod off, I just hear, why are you going to Indianapolis, Bill? And I just laughed. So, dude, my adrenaline was fucking going. I was just like, wow, they're going to stop the plane. This is fucking intense, man. This is crazy. What's going to happen? And I'm totally innocent, so I got to kind of watch it happen. So then I couldn't sleep. So I was sitting there with that stupid mask on for like a half an hour, and then finally I was just like, all right, fuck it, I got to take it off, and I got to deal with this guy. And I take it off, and I look over, and he's just passed out, head hanging, this fucking, special ops guy.
You know what you should do?
Completely passed out.
You should fucking waylay him with a huge haymaker right in the face, and then immediately pretend you're asleep.
No, because someone would have seen that. So
They're all asleep?
No, you know what I did? Was I immediately started pounding waters because I didn't have to go to the bathroom, and I wanted to get up on the plane just to see if he was going to fucking wig out again. Make some sort of...
So you made yourself go to the bathroom
No,
on
I
purpose?
started slamming waters.
Just so that you would have water in your
Yeah,
bladder?
so now I have to go for the fucking bathroom like you can't believe, and this fucking guy's passed out. I held it for the last hour. He didn't wake up until we landed, and then we pulled up to the terminal, and I got out. And I stood up, and he wouldn't look at me. And I'm thinking, hey, he probably slept it off, and now he's feeling fucking weird, hopefully. And the lady in front of me got up, and she just goes, she smiled, and she said, hey. And I just said, hey, that was an interesting one. And then he had the pillow like this, Joe. He had it behind here in some weird position, in some sort of like alpha male way. He tried to get some sort of tough thing, the last word. He took the pillow out, and he threw it down between his legs, and he like grunted. He went like, ugh. Like he threw a pillow down. That was it. That was my trip to Indianapolis.
That wham Oh my God.
Dating an ugly girl. Sorry about the clicking here, everybody. Dating an ugly girl. Hey, Bill, I just recently started listening to your podcast at work, and I got to say, great job, man. Thank you very much. You say some truly funny and inspiring stuff. Thank you. I wanted to ask for your advice on a troubling matter of mine. I recently started dating a girl that I met on an internet dating site. That's unreal. I wish that shit was around when I was fucking single. and I was a young man, had a full head of hair, right? Jesus Christ, that's like going to the supermarket just picking out fruit. You know? Oh, Jesus Christ. If you're letting your ego get in the way of fucking doing that, you're out of your goddamn mind. Still going out paying a fucking cover charge. I guess there's the sport of that. You know, not having the gun cocked, walking around with the shotgun broken over your arm, right? Having your boy go flush him out of the fucking bushes. Every once in a while, though, wouldn't it be nice to fish in a stock pond? Anyways, he said we met on an internet dating site. We get along great. We got along great through emails, but when we met, I was surprised to see how ugly her face was and how slightly off she smelled. You know, I just did such a great commercial for why you should do internet dating, and now you've convinced me that I don't even know what I'm talking about. All right, so what do you need advice at this point? She has an ugly face and smells bad. So what? Jesus. I just saw it's dating an ugly girl. Okay, well, I'm intrigued now. Well, what do you look like, sir? Are you a little off, and do you smell? Do your smells combine and actually smell like something good? Can that happen? Can two negatives make a positive in smells? I know they do in math. Needless to say, I was coming out of a dry spell. Also, she has a great body, so I put the moves on her. I never actually hesitated. You should have taken a fucking shower with her. That was the move right there. You should have taken a fucking shower with her and banged it doggy style. Jesus Christ, do I gotta hold your hand over to the fucking water fountain? Anyways, he goes, so I put the moves on her. I never actually hesitated. I just went on being myself around her and talking to her, and now we're together. The sex is amazing. I fucking knew it. I knew the sex would be amazing because there's no other reason to stay with. If somebody's ugly and they smell, they better fuck the shit out of you, or, they better find a new career because their fuck game is over. Playoffs? No. Your season's over. You're playing for a first-round draft pick. All right, the sex is amazing. She has a pretty deep voice. Jesus Christ. This is like the Money Pit, except instead of a house, it's a woman. All right, she has a pretty deep voice for a lady. So when we bang, it's the only time she talks and acts like a woman. Dude, if you get to the end of this and this person has had a sex change operation, I'm not going to be surprised. Jesus Christ. Do I continue? Yeah, I got nothing better to do. Fuck it. And he goes, blah, 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 and we get along great. She's like the best friend I never had. Yeah, I'm sure. She'd probably fucking lift more weights than you, too. Seriously, we make each other laugh a lot, and we're always learning and growing intellectually with each other. My dilemma is this. I'm a pretty handsome guy, and when we go out together, people always stare, give us angry or confused looks. Oh, come on, man. That might be in your head. I think that a lot of that might be you being self-conscious. Confused look, like, why is this great-looking guy with this piece of dog meat? I don't know if that's your ego or you're dating the ugliest fucking thing ever. You said she's got a nice body. So, you know what I mean? Throws on a little makeup, does some shit with her hair. You know, maybe combs it in her face a little. Becomes 50% less, this is just getting meaner by the second. My dilemma is this. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I haven't introduced her to any of my friends and family yet because I'm afraid of what they'll think of me and how they will judge us behind our backs. Also, I don't want ugly kids, and that's pretty important to me. Oh, my God. Why are you with this person, sir? You're saying horrible things. She has an ugly face, she smells bad, and you think she's going to make ugly children. What the fuck? You know what it is? Your dick is still making the decisions in your life, sir. That's why you're still with this person. And secondly, just because you're good looking and you get with a good looking person, that doesn't mean you're going to have a good looking kid. All right? That's one of the fallacies out there. I can name a couple celebrity couples, drop dead gorgeous, had an average looking kid. Because you know what it is?
It's not like you're beautiful and you're beautiful, so together you make beauty. No, it's you're combining your features. You know what I mean? There's a lot of average. I can tell you right now, more times than not, average-looking people have stunning kids. They have just as good a chance of making stunning kids. This is like that shit I was talking to you about like a few weeks ago, when I was talking about like when people give like Michael Jordan's kid shit because he's not as good as his dad at basketball. It's like, well, he's only half his dad. He's Michael Jordan cut with Michael Jordan's wife. Okay? And if she has no leaping ability, okay, and can't even catch a beach ball underhanded, that's going to fuck with the son's ability to go to the rack. You know? So anyway, sir, I'll read the rest of this book. Anyways, I don't want ugly kids, and that's pretty important to me. She truly is an amazing person, and in a perfect world, I wouldn't hesitate to make her my wife. But the fact is, I'm too much of a bitch to completely accept her into my life. Well, you know what? You're man enough to admit that you're a bitch. That's a good step, which it is. But I don't really want to hurt her feelings. Her life is already pretty hard because of how she looks. Dude, what? Does she live under a bridge? What is the problem? What should I do? Am I too selfish and vain? Any advice in this matter would be appreciated. Well, the problem is, sir, you've stayed with her long enough that she's starting to get into your heart. You know, she was in your balls first, but then, you know, now she's up in your chest. So, what would you do? I mean, you have to make the choice. Look, you either accept her for who she is and you introduce her to people around you, or you get rid of her, because you're going to hurt her. You know? That's it. I don't know what the fuck else to tell you. I hope I didn't come off like a dick there, but I mean, that's the deal. You got to make the choice. All right?
All right, can't get laid. Bill, I'm a huge fan. I listen to all your podcasts and stand-up. Now that I'm done sucking your dick, I love how you guys just can't give me a fucking compliment, and then you feel all uncomfortable because you actually enjoy the fucking podcast. Just be a man and give me a goddamn compliment. You know? I'm done sucking your dick. You're uncomfortable. I'm not uncomfortable. I enjoy the praise. He says, I need some advice. I'm starting my sophomore year of college, and I've never been more depressed. My high school girlfriend broke up with me shortly after graduation, and I haven't gotten laid since. It's not like I stay in my room all day. I have friends and I go to parties at least once a week. And even though I never enjoy myself, I just can't get a girl to be interested in me. I also have no idea what I want to do after college, and so I have no motivation to apply myself. The only reason I haven't dropped out is because my parents, who are paying thousands and thousands of dollars, I don't drop out so they won't be disappointed. I work out every day and I try to stay busy, but most of the time I just feel terrible. I'm hoping you have some advice for me. If not, go fuck yourself. And if you do, thanks, and go fuck yourself. All right. You obviously have a sense of humor. What would my advice be? You know what? I think you're trying too hard. All right? There's no reason to go to a party and not have a good time. Just go there and enjoy yourself. Don't worry about talking to women. Don't worry about trying to get laid. Just have a good time. Just enjoy yourself. Just go out in life and just fucking enjoy yourself. Okay? People are attracted to positive energy and somebody having a good time. It makes them want to be around you, and next thing you know, somebody's blowing you. I don't understand why the universe works that way, but it does. I know I am overly simplifying this, but, it's good that you know that you're depressed. I was depressed for about 20 years and didn't realize it because I was so used to feeling that way. I thought it was just the normal, just the normal state of things. I got to tell you this, dude. You are going to get a girlfriend, and you're going to find love, and you're going to get married. Okay? But I got to tell you, there's a fucking misery that comes to that life. All right? There's a great thing, but there's also a misery. And she feels it fucking too. And that's a part of you, the individual you dies. So right now, dude, the 40-year-old you is going to look back at if the 40-year-old you could get in a time machine and sit down with you right now and give you a fucking pregame speech before you went to that party? I mean, that would be like Scared Straight. He'd be right in your face. You know, you have any idea what it's like to get up at 5 in the morning and change a shitty diaper? You get to sleep 10 hours a fucking day. You can't put a smile on your face when you go to a fucking party single. You could fuck anything that walks. You go down to that 7-Eleven. Look at me. You go down to that 7-Eleven. You get yourself a box of fucking condoms. You stick them, you stick one in your pocket. Prepare for success. You iron your goddamn shirt, you get down there, you have a good fucking time. All right? You're only going to be this age once. You say something like that. All right? I'm telling you. You're only going to be this age once. You're in college, dude. You are at it's like you won the NBA draft lottery. Women there are in the prime of their fucking life. Most of them are fucking single. It's going to happen for you. But if you're walking around and you're depressed and you're carrying that with you, if you're moping around like that makes people fucking, not want to be around you. So I would say drinking's probably not a good thing because that is a depressant. So scratch that. I can't even remember if I fucking told you to have a couple of beers. I wouldn't do that. I would just fucking enjoy yourself. You know what I would do? I would go do some shit for you. Fuck trying to get a girlfriend. Fuck trying to get laid. Fuck all of that. Just go out and, what do you want to do? If you don't know what you want to do, go out and go try a bunch of different things and have a good time. Dude, you're single. Okay? You don't have to fucking deal with trying to figure out what's going to make them happy. Okay? Because as far as I can fucking tell, there isn't anything that's going to make them happy for longer than maybe a day. The amount of shit that you can do for them, and as you can tell, she's a couple of rooms away. The amount of shit that you can fucking do for them, and all it does is buy you a couple of days of happiness, is just fucking baffling. And I got to be honest with you. A lot of women look at it, guys, and they think that we're fucking stupid. And I think part of it is because they have the way their brain works, that multitasking, whatever it is, that shit talk that they always say, that women can multitask and guys can't. Well, I would say, generally speaking, this is very general, I think men have an advantage when it comes to just being happy. You know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't know it from my podcast and the way I talk and shit, but I'm happy as hell, and I've been happy for a long fucking time. All I need, dude, this is all I fucking need. The NFL package. I got a 6 of fucking Millers in my goddamn refrigerator. I got a new pair of sneakers or just some stupid bullshit like that. I order a fucking pizza. That's all I need. I'm happy the whole fucking day. I go on a hike with my dog in the morning. That's it. I'm good. Simple, stupid shit. Keeps me as a guy entertained. I don't have their high-level brain that they're always talking about and their ability. I can do 1,000 fucking things. Yeah, look at you. You're miserable. You're fucking miserable. So, I'm telling you, dude, you don't realize it, but where you are right now, dude, is you are in an absolute utopia. Do you know how many fucking guys right now would kill to be in your position? They'd even take 2 years of not getting laid. Who gives a fuck? Rub one out. Get on with your goddamn day. Get on with your fucking day of being single, not having to answer to anybody, and having the option of hitting on any beautiful woman that catches your eye. Take a trip anytime you fucking want. Go wherever you want to go. Do whatever the fuck. Dude, you're never going to and your parents are paying for your fucking education, dude. You're never going to be freer. All right? So start looking at your life that way. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a different fucking vibe. And and I'll tell you right now, you start doing that, good things are going to happen in the National Football League. No, I'm serious, dude. Something good is going to happen. But there will be a time in your fucking life, I'm telling you, where you will be married, you'll have kids, and you'll do that whole fucking thing. And that will be its own sort of utopia. But it's I don't know, dude, this is it's a beautiful, selfish time in your life that you should embrace. And you should not spend it feeling bad about yourself. All right? So there you go. Good luck to you.